I don't think people should be going back to Gaza. I think that Gaza has been very unlucky for them. They've lived like hell. They lived like you're living in hell. Gaza is not a place for people to be living. And the only reason they want to go back, and I believe this strongly, is because they have no alternative. What's the alternative? Go where? There's no other alternative. If they had an alternative, they'd much rather not go back to Gaza and live in a beautiful alternative that's safe.
Palestinians in Gaza, some of whom we should note have been living there for generations, their families, if not literally centuries, yes. Saying Gaza should not be there. It's not a, quote, place people should be living.
If you don't think elections have consequences, listen to that over and over and over again. And President Trump says it so casually, sometimes you don't understand what he's saying, because he just says it as if he's saying, you know, Tuesday comes after Monday and there's a weekend before that. That was the President of the United States sitting in the Oval Office endorsing the forcible resettlement of Palestinians off their own land, off land that international law recognizes as their land, as land that the United States, until 2 weeks and a day ago at least, recognized as their land. And the Prime Minister of Israel, the state created because Jews were forcibly relocated, forcibly resettled, and then killed in Europe by Hitler, sitting there smiling, while the President of the United States is saying we should forcibly resettle a people off their land. Now, the Arab nations in the neighborhood have all protested, mutedly, because they don't want to pick a fight with President Trump, but Jordan and Egypt have said no. It goes against everything the Arabs have said for decades. Now, the Arabs have often used the Palestinians as pawns in their other grievances. Beth can describe that better than me. But for the President of the United States, a democracy, to say we would forcibly support the forcible resettlement of people because he says it's hell. The Palestinian people would tell you that's their land. And they didn't want to be, you know, there was a terrorist attack on Israel on October 7th. We can never forget that. There was a terrorist attack by Hamas on Israel on October 7th. But the idea that a result of that should be the Palestinian people forcibly resettled off their land with no international conversation, no Palestinian representation by the President of the United States, can't think of a bigger policy shift like that.